now, it's time to get unmasked. Please welcome your host, Pamela Elaine Nichols and Cheryl A.S. Haley.
Hello. Welcome to UnMasked Real Talk Live. Pam, isn't it good for us to be back with the community again? Last week, had a replay, and we were sorry, but you had a replay. But guess what? We're here today, live and in color. This is the place where we get real about topics not often discussed authentically. The topics we choose support our goal to help you feel better, look better, and live better. Now, today's raffle prize, guess what? It is a 60-minute red chair laser coaching session with your duo coaches on how to cope with people who stress you out or a topic of your choice. Pam, let's unmask today's topic because I am so excited to talk about what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, and before we do, we're at a different time than we usually are. We just we know that we polled our listeners and said, we may have to change the time. What time works for you? And I think the majority, if I'm right, Cheryl said
12 o'clock.
This time, 12 o'clock. Okay, so grab your lunch,
That's right.
Grab your beverage, get comfortable. Let's unmask today's topic, which is, I can't take it anymore.
Can you do an I can't take it anymore? Look, do it one more time, so they can understand. I can't take it anymore. Woo!
Yeah,
feel good.
Well, it really actually is quite liberating, to be honest with you. I didn't think about it like that, but you're right. Releasing that stress.
Yes.
So let's talk about this topic, beginning with the quote. The greatest stress you go through when dealing with a difficult person is not fueled by the words or actions of that person. It is fueled by your mind that gives their words and their actions importance. It's okay to be upset. It's never okay to be cruel. Anonymous. Ooh, I love that quote right there.
It's the truth.
Today, we're diving deep into a topic that many of us can relate to. The stress caused by peoples. Whether it's those micro annoyances from coworkers, the demands of family, or the pressures of social media connections, human interactions can be a major source of tension. Together, we'll explore why people can sometimes get under our skin, how to manage these feelings, and ways to cultivate serenity, if that's even possible, amidst the chaos of social dynamics. So, if you have ever felt like you want to scream, I can't take it anymore, you're going to love today's conversation. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, or how happy you consider yourself to be. There are going to be days when you feel completely stressed out. How many of you have cried? I mean, really cried out, I can't take it anymore. How many of you? Raise your hand. Sure. How many times have you said these words? I mean, they have gotten on your last nerve and you are just done. Like, what do? Do you pull your hair out? Do you cuss them out? I mean, what do you really do? Well, let me tell you, Cheryl and I are not exempt from people getting on our nerves. We know exactly what it feels like and are on a continuous journey of learning how to cope with those who are extra and give extra grace when needed. Let's just get downright raw with this conversation and let's help one another out. But before we go a little bit further, we want to talk a little bit about some of the symptoms of feeling stressed out. And you may not have connected these symptoms with feeling stressed out by somebody. Difficulty breathing, panic attacks, blurred eyesight or sore eyes. You can't sleep well. There's chronic fatigue. Your muscles ache. You have constant headaches. You have chest pains. Your blood pressure's high. You have indigestion, you have heartburn. These are some real symptoms, real issues of someone feeling like, I just can't take them anymore, or I just can't take it anymore. Yeah, I mean, either way, your body doesn't know the difference between the stress being directly at a person or coming from a person or the stress coming from some situation, the effect is still the same. And those symptoms that we get, even, I'm going to tell you another symptom, because we were having a conversation before we went live with somebody important in our lives, and they were talking about some skin issues and stuff. Do you know that stress can also manifest itself in breakouts? Breakouts in your skin. The skin is the largest organ of the body. And it is the thing that is hit first when we're dealing with stress. It's hit first when we're dealing with anything. If it's cold outside, our organ skin feels it. If it's hot outside, our organ skin feels it. So our skin is really a communicator of what's going on inside. So I just wanted to throw that one out there. But Cheryl, what's coming up for you?
When I listened to it, first and foremost, one of the things that you said that was so important, that we recognize that in the midst when somebody has literally gotten underneath our skin and we're looking at that particular situation, these symptoms are showing up and we're trying to figure out where it's coming from. We're not even most times not even aware that this is taking place. And even though he or she or it has gotten on your nerves, look what's happening to you. Look at what's happening to you,
girl. See, now you're talking, and what you just said reminded me of what some information that I read, that 75, I think it's somewhere between 75 and 85% of primary care doctor visits are stress related. It's stress related, and you're right. We're not making those connections. But after the doctor has done his or her assessment, at the end of the day, your body is under chronic stress. Now, stress is good, right? There's good stress and there's debilitating stress.
That's right.
The good stress is, you got to get a paper out and that adrenaline is flowing and you're writing, you're knocking out your paper and you got a project that you've got to get done and you want to make sure that your presentation is on spot. That stress can help you really fine tune and hone in what you want to say and get that project straight. But then that project is over or that paper is done and you need to return to your normal state of equilibrium. But when you're under chronic stress, which is the kind that really messes up with your body doesn't know, oh, that paper's over or that project is done. Your body is still revving up, still in stress mode, still agitated, still bothered. And sometimes that's because you see that same person every single day.
That's right.
The one that stresses you out. That same person every day or that same situation is constantly in your face and keeps you in a constant state of stress, which really affects your body, your health, and your well-being. I think before we look at someone is not feeling well, it may be just a good idea to look at what are the stressors going on in your body, in your life.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you're on that edge of, I just can't take it anymore? That's when we really need to look at it.
Exactly. And one of the things, Pam, even just piggybacking on what you just shared, is a trauma competent professional. One of the things that we're taught when you talk about
girl, wait, hold on. You just went right over that trauma competent professional. Wait, let's come back to that. That's pretty dark. Wait, first tell us what that is, and then tell us what you do. That's great.
What it is that it is someone who has actually become educated in how to deal with persons who've been impacted by trauma. And what happens is that your everyday engagement, whether it's through counseling, whether it's through coaching, or just day-to-day social interactions, is that understanding. And what you said, what it brought to my consciousness that we were taught is that we never ask, when we look at a person's behavior, what's wrong with you? We ask what happened to you. And as you were sharing, what I thought about is that for physicians, as you're telling them what's going on, their response is, what happened to you? And oftentimes they can associate what's happening to some stressful event or something that you've experienced. So when I was listening to you, I'm like, and that's another example. And the other thing that I wanted to also piggyback on is that when we talk about good stress, guess what? You can have a new baby on the soon to come or a wedding. That's good stress. But at the end of the day, it's stress. And see, a lot
Yeah.
of times we don't think about things like that, but it's still stress. But when you talk about earlier, you asked your sister a question. You said, "What's coming up for you?" I could not help, and we unmasked, and we want to have real talk on here. We're going to talk about this subject. But I remember being in a workplace, and I was under such stress, day in, day out, 24/7, no matter what. It was just a stressful environment. And I just remember this one day getting to a place that I was confronted with something that just totally worked my last nerve. Can I tell you, it was
Come
some
on.
messiness. I didn't like it. And it was at that point where we say, "You ever get to that place and you say, I can't take it anymore?" Well, guess what, y'all? That day, I said, "You know what? I'm done." And you know what I did? I quit my job because I recognized that all these symptoms, I had gone through difficulty breathing, had to be hospitalized at one point. I would have these panic attacks, like, because you never know what was going to come up from any given day. I
Yeah.
couldn't sleep like I deserved because hey, the sister work hard, play hard. I need to rest well. I couldn't rest because I was completely stressed. The fatigue every day, almost for a minute. How you feel? I'm tired. And what
Yeah.
it wasn't that I was physically tired. I was tired of the nonsense. But guess what? That day, when I had that real, I can't take it anymore, sister girl, quit a job. Quit her job. And can I tell you where my stress went? My stress went down. Because
Yeah.
what happens is we hold on to things because of that spirit of control that we're going to fix
Mm,
it. I came to a realization I can't fix this. Either I'm going to
yeah.
stay here and allow it to take me out, or I'm going to leave, or either I'm going to take somebody out. Because it was just like that.
Yeah.
I was like in a place like, "You're going to get it. I got to go. I got to
Yes. I,
go."
Cheryl, I love your story. And this is one of the reasons I love working with you, because we are different sides of the coin, but the same coin. So
Mhm.
you were able in your stressor to say, I'm done. And you had some control to be able to let that job go, right? So you were able to do that. And you decided, I'm not going to let this thing that I have some control over keep messing with my health and well-being.
Mhm.
The other side of the coin is when you feel like you can't walk away. You can't let something go that's stressing you. And my story that I've told many, many times, but I'm going to keep telling it because it's going to
Mhm.
set some folk free,
Come on.
is I could not walk away. I was a mother. I still am a mother, but I was a mother of 4 young children, ages 7, 6, 5, and 2. And I remember, let me just preface this because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And my
Mhm.
children know this story, so they're not going to be offended. But let's be real that being a mother
Mhm.
is stressful.
Yeah.
It is stressful. And it's okay that we can be honest about that. This is real talk, right?
It's real talk. It's real talk. Keep it real.
It can be so incredibly stressful, and
Mhm.
it's everyday stressful.
Yes.
Every single day, you're repeating the same thing with taking care of kids and washing butts and cleaning noses and navigating arguments, and it's just a lot. So I had a breakdown. Okay, I had a breakdown in front of my kids on the
Mhm.
bathroom floor.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that day is embedded in their minds. It's embedded in my mind too. But it was the day that was the biggest turning point for me to decide I can't walk away from my kids. Like, I just couldn't do that. I know that some people do. I
Mhm.
could not do that. I did not want to do that, but I had to find some out because
Mhm.
I was being affected and my kids were watching their mother completely fall apart. What I could do was start doing an internal investigation of what
Yes.
is it that I'm giving up that I don't have to give up that's
Mhm.
making me suffer? How can I restore
Yeah.
what has been lost within me so
Yeah.
that I can be the best version of myself and be available to my kids? And one of the things that I really had to do was be honest with myself that I was not happy. I'm having a hot flash now. I'm
Well,
having a hot flash right on. Woo!
what
We're
happened?
keeping it real.
Keep it real. But Pam, I just so appreciate what you're sharing with our
Yes.
audience, and we're talking about it. And just like she said, we have different scenarios. But one of the things I need to piggyback on what you said was that
Go.
because of my holding on to something that was just stressing me completely out, it was affecting my relationships with my family and with others.
Ah,
And, and I didn't realize that because I was so in it. I
yeah.
was so in it. But I can't tell you, not only was that liberating for me when I took that plunge, but people, you being one of them, they wanted to do interviews with me. Like, well, what made you finally? What made you finally? Because it was like everybody saw it except for me. And it was like they were applauding me. They was like, let me take you out. It was almost like, but it's amazing how many times that when you have people, like when Pam said she was able to, she need to step back and see, look internally. Well, see, before some of the things that happened, see, I had a hospitalization as a result of that stress before I left that job. And
Yeah.
what I have to recognize, it wasn't the job, it was what I was engaging in day to day. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
day to day. I
Yeah.
mean, day to day. And you talk
Yeah.
about messiness, there was a messy folk. There was a messy
Yeah.
folk.
Well, what's the interesting thing for you is because we've known each other for quite some time, many years.
Yeah.
I think since 1994, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
almost 30 years, no,
Yep.
20 years, whatever. And I used to think that you had no stressors, like your life was perfect. And remember, I was like,
Yeah.
Cheryl, do you ever have any problems? Because I mean, you're right. Nobody would have ever known
Yeah. Yeah.
that you were stressed out, that you were dealing on a day-to-day, end-to-end, unyielding stress.
Mhm. That's
Because
right.
I thought all was good with you. Everything is good with you. I felt like something was wrong with me because I have a perfect friend.
Like, no. And what happens is that as we keep it real, how many of us walk around just like that? And we are totally stressed on the inside. But if somebody would look at us from an external place, how you doing? We started this show up when we first launched it. Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. That's not the truth. We are blessed. We are favored, but let's talk about the real stuff that goes on day to day, every single day in our lives. It might not be a stressor, but it's some real stuff. And this right here. Here's my friend. She just now said how long we've known each other. There was a point until she asked me that question, and then I gave her the laundry list. She was like, "Oh, I'm not by myself." But at the end of the day, how it's just like we just came off having a conversation about the value of friendships that never inspire. It takes real authentic friendships for you to be able to release and say, I'm going through. I'm going through it. Like I'm going through, I'm stressed. But the
Yeah.
thing about it, when we talk about it, it's like, how do you cope with this? So Pam, I just think we need to unmask the question.
Okay, let's get to the unmasked question right here, right here, right here.
Unmasked
And
question.
here's the question, and actually, it's a trick question. Here it
Mhm.
is. Would you rather make the stressor change their behavior or
Ooh,
change your response to their behavior? Let's put that up there. Would you rather make the stressor, whoever that person is, change their behavior or change your response to their behavior?
Pam, I have to tell you, look, we was going in because see, we
Oh,
are led to
Jesus.
topics that we're gonna unpack and we're gonna keep it real. Somebody put in here, oh my God. I just logged on and my God, you're speaking on how I feel, and right now in all caps. So
Mm,
we don't know who you are, but you came in at
yeah,
the right time. We want you, that unmasked question, if you could just respond in the chat, because we want to speak to that. Because the thing about it, like, we're not telling people anything that we haven't experienced.
yeah,
We've experienced it. Trust me,
that's
we
right.
have.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So while we're waiting for any response that people want to offer to this unmasked question, what would be your answer, Reverend Cheryl?
Come on. So, would you rather make the stressor change their behavior or change your response? I changed my response.
Is that what you would rather?
No, you said, would you rather make the stressor?
Would you rather make the stressor change their behavior, or would you rather change your response to their behavior?
I would. I want to change my response to their behavior.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean that's real. That's real. Because personally,
Mm-hmm.
I would rather they change their behavior. Okay, get it together. Stop stressing me out before I punch you. I would rather they do it, but I know that is not how it's gonna go down. It's just
Let me
not.
let me drop a
It's
bomb.
not.
I gotta drop the bomb. I gotta drop the bomb. Now, I told you about the trauma, not what happened to them, not what's wrong with you, but what happened to you. Now, for our sake, when we talk about changing their response, when we try to control things, and includes people that are out of control, guess what happens to us? We lose control. I ain't trying to go out like that because of your stuff. Because you
Yes.
not, and that's what I would do. That's why I said no. I'm like, no, no, no. I would change my response. We do not
Yeah.
give attention to behavior that we do not want.
This is okay. So check this out. Our
Okay.
our our person came back with, honestly, I'm at the point where I need the stressor to change their behavior. They got real because I'm tired. I'm tired of changing my response. And then I guess you said something. They said, right, I know that's how I'm supposed to respond, but I'm tired. The girl is tired. Okay.
You know what's so true about that? And ever who you are, we so appreciate your honesty and your transparency, because guess what? Been right there. But what I found is it didn't change anything for me. So it's like I got sick and tired of going through the same thing. I wanted them to change their behavior. See, keeping it real, I wanted them to change their behavior, but it came to a point that it never changed. It stayed the same.
Yes. And so we have this person who is being so honest and raw with us. They are at the point where they are in tears. And here's what I would say: not knowing the details of this particular stressful situation that they are in, I would say that there may be a different response that you might need to try on that you have not yet tried on, because sometimes you have to adjust a little bit here and a little bit there. And I know you're tired, but you might be more tired because the response that you're giving isn't the right one to fit. It's not the key to unlock the door to your freedom. Is what I would say. I don't know the details, but here's I'm gonna make an offer, Cheryl. Now we're about to do a raffle in a minute, right?
Yep.
But whoever you are that being so raw and real, if you're not selected in the raffle, we're gonna offer it to you anyway. Okay, right. So our producer is saying, let's move on. Okay, producer. But whoever you are, what you'll need, we don't know who you are, but what we're gonna ask you to do is let us know who you are in the event you don't get the raffle, because you need a red chair coaching from Cheryl and me.
That's right. And we're definitely going to do that. And again, one of the things that with the tears, that was real. Pam, can we say them tears been there? When they said the tears, it's had them at the point of tears. Oh my gosh, we so feel you. We so feel you.
We're loving on you. We're loving on you, sister. Okay, so let's do the 3 takeaways. Here we go.
Okay. Well, the first takeaway, and 3 takeaways to manage stress caused by people. The first one is stick to the facts and know your limits. It is so easy for us to react emotionally when someone gets underneath our skin. The ability to stay calm, however, under pressure is a pillar of resiliency, and it gives you the ability to bounce back from it no matter what.
I'm gonna ask you to do number 2, because number 3 is the one I really want to hear.
Number 2 is focus on yourself, not the other person. If you tend to instinctively blame yourself in the midst or after a negative interaction, you're falling into the personalizing thinking trap. Like you're giving too much thought in terms of what it is that you may have done, except owning that that's just the way they are. Messy people, and we have to accept that. A narcissistic behavior is narcissistic behavior. It's not going to change, and we don't want to focus on them. We want to focus on, when we talk about those symptoms earlier, we want to focus on what's going on with us as a result of, and find ways to minimize that. Pam, give number 3, because I like that one too, but go on and give number 3.
And number 3 is stop and take a water break. I know that sounds simple. I know that sounds corny, but if you can stop and go walk away, confronting a messy person or a stressful person can derail your day, but only if you if you take a moment to unwind with water rather than wine. Although sometimes, let's keep it real, wine helps. You'll return to the person or the problem with a fresher, calmer mind. We promise that this will help. Yes. So this is something we teach in our Think Again coaching course, right, Cheryl? We help people uncover some of the stressful things and what they can do about it. In fact, we have a 5-step process
We do.
that we teach in our Think Again coaching program that changes the game of stress for people. Okay, but I see the time, and I think we need to go to the raffle. All right, Kayla. Look at that. So I think that's that's our former Think Again coach. Okay, but wait, her name just disappeared from the spin. I'm not sure why.
Okay, so we probably want to do another spin.
Right. Let's see what we're doing here. Okay, so
it's her.
Okay, so it's Saida that got the raffle, but I think the person who's been responding says their name is Nikki.
That's Nikki. That's Nikki.
Okay, so Nikki, we need you to email us or DM us so we can get your email address, or drop it here right now so that we can follow up with you for a Red Chair coaching, as well as Saida, our former Think Again student.
Congratulations.
That's so great. Let's close this out.
I can tell you, I have Nikki's information, so we're going to send it to you, Nikki. She put it in there. Well, I have Nikki's information. We sending it to your girlfriend. She's in Rite Aid right now.
She's in Rite Aid right now, getting some.
Rite Aid right now. Well,
all right, that's all right, Nikki. We love you, girl. We love you. We feel you. We're gonna help. We're gonna help you, Nikki. Yep. We're gonna empower you with something, girl.
Absolutely.
We'll empower you with something.
Absolutely. Well, for all that have joined us, thank you so much for joining us. And guess what? As we prepare to wrap up, what's the story? We want to challenge you with something. What's the story that you tell yourself about stress, depression, and anxiety? If that story makes you feel sad, and we say SAD, learn our 5-step solution during our upcoming EduMar, short for educational seminar. We are testing the value of this educational seminar to the public, and we would appreciate your attendance and feedback. If you're interested in being the first to sample the upside of your SAD, your SAD side, EduMar, get on the waiting list by emailing us at hellobeautiful@executivebeauty.net. We look forward to seeing you next week at our regular new time, which is 12 noon, for our scheduled UnMasked Real Talk Live. And we're going to post about this as well regarding the EduMar. So we want anybody and everybody, share it, because we want anybody and everybody to be in attendance. So again, thanks for joining us today, and we will see you on next week. Yay!
Bye!
Bye-bye.